I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this nigga is trying to. Shh. Niggas don't know you here yet. Shit. Today. First of all, welcome. Up and coming. Your boy, motherfucker Jones. Missing my esteemed co-host, Doodle Boy Fuse, but he will be back very soon and shortly. But today we got some new fire, a new guest, someone from Yonkers, someone that is killing the game right now, not only releasing books, but also teaching the youth, bro. He's trying to impact the next generation. Everybody give it up for my guy, Dennis. Oh, you can't even hear it because I got Yo, how you doing today, B?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm humbled and I'm happy to be here.
You know what I'm saying?
This is really dope. I'm excited.
Of course. I want to get you out of your little sophistication bag real quick, get you back down to Yonkers for a second,
big. From Martin Luther King to Malcolm X.
Yeah, real quick, just for a second.
Sure.
Yo, first of all, tell the people what you do for our communities, because I know, because I personally work with you, but realistically what you're doing is amazing.
Thank
bro.
you.
And I would love for people to actually hear it from your mouth.
Sure.
Because not only me saying, affecting the next generation and actually getting into these communities, and whether you're trying to get these kids to know about HBCUs or whatever the case may be, I just wanted people to know that I'm also in tune. But tell your story, my guy. Talk to him.
So boom, yo.
I hate to say that.
So my name is Dennis Richmond Jr. and I'm the founder and director of the New York, New Jersey HBCU initiative.
Bounce.
So, with that being said, I currently do three things. I'm a substitute teacher in the Yonkers Public School District at the moment. I'm a freelance journalist / author. And I assist students with the college process. Most specifically right now, getting them scholarship dollars to go to school. I have a scholarship out called the Dennis Richmond Jr. Scholarship for Black Excellence. And I make sure that the little youth them have a bag to go to school.
This nigga's just a heavy hitter like this. He said, I do this, boom. I do this, boom. I do this, boom.
I'm in Raul Torres' footsteps.
Nah. What you're doing is definitely one of a kind, bro.
Thank you.
Because not only are you passionate just because of what you actually went through, your own process and trying to figure out how to, be a young black man in this educational system, but also just like helping others trying to figure it out. Because realistically, I needed a dentist back when I went to school in 2011, for real. To keep it a buck. I didn't even know about HBCUs. If I didn't, have a great relationship with my aunt, and she went to Delaware State, I wouldn't have known. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have, certain influences within my family to tell me about college tours or whatever the case may be, like, I wouldn't have known about HBCUs. But now you're bringing it to the kids in full form. It's not no gimmicks. It's not no, hey, you signed up for this and then you get to learn about a couple of schools. Like, you're showing them that this is a legit option. It's not no cookie cutter, stick up for your kind. Like, nah, this is a school for you.
Most definitely.
And you show them how.
No, of course. I've been doing it for a while now.
What made you start doing it?
I saw a need in the community. I know for a fact that there were a lot of students across New York, specifically Yonkers, There were a lot of students across New York, specifically Yonkers, even today still, who don't have the opportunity to take those college tours to be able to go to a Delaware State in Dover, Delaware, or to be able to go to a Morgan State, which is located in Pennsylvania, to be able to see these schools. So I'll bring students fee-waived applications and brochures. I'll visit schools all across New York and make sure the students see a 10-minute documentary is, showing them the college experience and what have you, letting them see college students and what it's like. So I bring this experience to them so that way they understand.
It's interesting to see because, like, usually when you have, like, college reps come out as some, like, old-ass alum, you know what I'm saying? You don't usually have somebody that, one, looks like you, two, that actually is informing you about a multitude of options and just not trying to sell you. You know what I'm saying, on a certain or specific
But see,
school.
that's the misconception, though. You don't see it in New York, and you don't see it perhaps in Westchester, but it's out there with black colleges across the country. When you look at Claflin University in Orangeburg, South Carolina, when you look at Houston-Tillerson in Texas, when you look at HBCUs across the board, you have recruiters who are 19 and 20.
Right.
You have recruiters who are 23 and 24. You have recruiters who are in their 30s, who are black men, who are black women. So you have recruiters out there.
What makes you think that this Westchester thing, like, because realistically, like I said, like, I've seen you doing this, and I commend you, but, like, why not Westchester? Why is it not?
That's a beautiful question. So why not Westchester? Because of three reasons. One, there are no HBCUs in New York.
Oh.
Two, because of the fact that there are no HBCUs in New York, that means any New York student who wants to go to an HBCU off rip is paying out-of-state tuition.
Instantly.
And three, because students are paying out-of-state tuition, that means that they're losing certain New York State grants because New York State grants don't carry over to another state.
Right.
So you're not bringing Pell, you're not bringing TAP, or New York Pell, New York TAP. Right. So Delaware State is not in Manhattan.
Yeah, I know that's why I didn't get to go back, but we ain't gonna get on that
topic. You don't have Morgan State in Harlem.
Right.
But on the same token, when you go down to Brooklyn, you do have Medgar Evers.
Right.
So you have a lot of people out there who say Medgar Evers is an HBCU, but it's not. Institutions that are predominantly black do not necessarily make them institutions that are historically black. No shade to Medgar Evers. Shout out to Medgar Evers. But no, because I've had that debate before.
Yeah,
with people
I feel you.
Not chill, son. Medgar Evers, that's my HBCU, bro. And it's like,
Nah, it's not. But it's cool.
But
like you feel that way. But it's not.
But those are
nah,
reasons.
yeah.
There are none in. There are no
I never even
HBCUs,
thought about it like
there are
that.
no HBCUs in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
I never even thought about, like, there not being an HBCU in the tri-state area for real. And then you think about it, is Pac-12 and all of these fucking sports schools, but, like, now that I think about it, there's really no HBCUs in the tri-state area.
People across New York run to John Jay. They run to NYU.
Right.
People want to run to even schools like Pratt. They go to BCC for a few years. They go to WCC for a few years. Schools where students run to.
Right.
But when you look outside of New York, where are students going? Even when you look outside of the city, students are staying in New York but running where? Oh, nah, bro, we going to Buffer School. Now, like, my sister went to
Albany,
Buff,
Buff.
You know what I mean? Oh, now we going to Albany. So those are the schools that students set their sights on. I'm pulling up saying, but wait, what about this school that might want you in Atlanta? Because you have a lot of students across the country, or in New York for that matter, who want to go to school for photography, or who want to go to school for nursing, who want to go to school perhaps to be a veterinarian, or for fashion. Then they look at New York schools, and I'm saying, but hold on, why not go to a school where you're not only going to be accepted 100%, but where you'll meet all of those celebrities that you look up to, where you'll be able to see a Megan Thee Stallion come to your school for you to be able to talk to her.
Right.
Where you'll be able to see a Cardi B come to your school where you'll be able to talk to her. Or a Felicia Rashad, where you'll be able to meet a Barack Obama. As opposed to a school in New York where you may see a senator or you may see a council member.
What makes you think? Like, all right, because, like, that was an interesting, like, tidbit that you gave us. Because realistically, like, I even saw that. Like, the visitation, the alumnus, the just overall knowing about the school and bigging up the school has usually and largely been solidified through the entertainment industry, the rap industry, even the political industry at this point, because you got Kamala Harris. So, like, realistically, like, I think you're on the cutting edge and cusp of something that is very interesting. Because
it's always been interesting.
I was about to say, it's always been interesting, but the fact that, like, like you said, you bringing it to Yonkers. Like, you're bringing these things that naturally are probably in bigger or larger areas that have, you know, certain funds or whatever the fuck they need to do to focus on and get these people over there. But, like, what made you do it out of the, like, kindness of your heart? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and I want this to be known too, I'm not the first person in Westchester or in Yonkers to go to a historically black institution.
Right.
The former CEO of the Yonkers YMCA, Sean Patterson Howard, who's now the mayor of Mount Vernon, is not only a graduate of Howard University in Washington, D.C., but is also a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So you have HBCU alum across Westchester, Mount Vernon, Peekskill.
See, that's what I'm saying, but I'm not saying that they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, what made you want to push it? You
Right,
get what I'm saying?
right.
Like, cause like
Right.
everybody could go to an Ivy, everybody could go to the
Definitely.
Pac-10, everybody could do the. What made you want to push the HBCU
I was
experience?
getting something. I feel like, you know, like when Jay-Z doing an interview and like, yeah, definitely. It's a great question. It's the question. Like, it's because, because I had gotten something from that school. So, real quick story. 2013, I was in college. It was
Where were you at?
I was at Claflin University in Orangeburg,
Alright.
South Carolina. And I wanted to drop out of school. I wanted to come back to New York so bad. So it wasn't until I had come back to New York for Thanksgiving. Well, let me stop. It wasn't until I came back to New York for Indigenous Peoples Day.
See, we not even politically correct
Young
out here. Fuck that.
Marco.
We
But-
mindful out this
No,
bitch.
so it wasn't. Matter of fact, it wasn't until I came to New York in November. So it wasn't until I came back to New York for a little bit. And yeah, for Indigenous Peoples Day, you feel me?
You know what I'm saying? Mindful out this bitch.
And I realized that nothing had changed in New York at all. Everything was the same. Everything. The buses were the same. You know, all of the buildings were the same across Yonkers. At least 7 or 8 of the young women that I went to high school with who had graduated were pregnant. So, I don't know, like they all called each other like, girl, let's all get pregnant at the same time.
I hate him.
So,
Nah, but that's how it seems, for real.
It did, you know. Anyway, so.
And mind you, Dennis is younger than me, so he's seeing some recent shit. I ain't been in college in a minute, but he's seeing some recent shit.
It was interesting. So I went back to school, and I no longer wanted to drop out because I noticed that nothing in my community had changed. But I had changed because people around me were changing, but it wasn't the people, it was me.
All right.
My perspective around things was changing. I was around people on my college campus who were from Chicago and Detroit, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. So I was around other young adults now who I had networked with who had different slang terms, who taught me different things, who were going to different parts of the country, and then we were linking back up in South Carolina, having a conversation and talking about things. So that's what propelled me to want to stay in school. And then I went back home and said, wait, hold on, before you fall into, not even a trap, but before you fall into the norm, let me put you onto something great.
Ooh.
And the only thing that I did was
You need to
soul.
put that on a shirt or some shit. Nigga said, before you fall into the trap, let me put you on to something great. And it's interesting
And
to
I was
kind of
fortunate
see.
that people listen to me too.
I was about to say, like, because realistically, I've never seen, like, even going through my college process, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen, even in this day and age, I feel like kids are probably the least focused on college, whether it be, you know, just because they're solely focused on sports or whatever the case may be. It's interesting to see how you're received so genuinely,
Always.
just because of your clear passion. Because it's not like I'm trying to tell you what to do. It's like, yo, I'm like you said, I'm trying to just possibly give you a better decision
Thank
or a
God,
different one.
Always.
That is amazing, bro.
I've been
That is
to-
amazing.
Yes, sir. I've been to schools all over, everywhere in New York. Everywhere in New York has seen me, and I'm not even trying to sound cocky, but it's the truth. I've been from Mount Vernon to White. We could do it. All the schools in Yonkers have seen me before. So I've started doing this work in 2014 is when I started really going hard.
Okay.
So I had the idea to I had the idea to want to really do it. It was in 2014 when I was really on my game for real, for real. So starting then, I was unstoppable. I was at Roosevelt High School in Yonkers, and then I hit all the high schools: Gorton, Riverside, Palisade, Prep, all the schools in Yonkers saw me. I was in Mount Vernon High School. I did the schools in Westchester. I had told my mother I couldn't be New York Stacks if I didn't go to schools in New York. So it wasn't until 2015 that I learned in New York City subway. I'm not even going to sit here and cap and act like some of y'all. I was never one of those cool kids in middle school who was running to Webster in the Bronx. Like,
I was.
That was never me. That was never me. I was never getting late in Harlem when everybody was on 125.
Niggas wore knee pads. Fuck you talking about?
That was never me. So I was a nerd and I got bullied in middle school. So when I found my niche, when I found my lane lane was that. So
everybody gotta have a lane, B.
Yeah, I was in every school and students were receptive.
That's
so
dope.
Then I made my way around Westchester, and it was one school in Harlem Renaissance High School, that I had went to during a snow day. And I had went there. I had taken the Metro North. It was a snow day. The only way I knew how to get there was a Metro North. So I took the Metro North from Yonkers to 125, then took a cab. I believe Harlem Renaissance is on like 128 or something like that. Now the New York me is like, boy, that's 3 blocks. Like, get off on 125.
Yeah, right.
Walk. But I didn't know Harlem. I didn't know New York at all. So I was like, all right, I'll take this cab and then go there. I go there. Not only did they present me with an award for even showing up, but students were there on a snow day, and they were receptive to me in Harlem. And that was an awakening for me because I was used to seeing Yonkers students. So I'm seeing Harlem students who I can tell are openly LGBTQIA+. Had never seen that in a Yonkers school at that point in time before. I'm in Harlem now with students who have name brand everything.
Facts.
I know it's real.
That culture shock is different.
But name brand everything, big bubble coats and big. I'm like, oh, this is Harlem for real.
Facts.
Where the students have like real faces, like they're looking at me like, all right, what is he talking about?
Like
this
what's up?
Wasn't Yonkers where we just happy to get out of class. This was Harlem like, nah, we ain't have to be in school at all. What's he talking about? So once I was in Harlem, that was it. Then I started hitting all, I would like to say, it wasn't, but all the schools in Brooklyn. Everywhere. I'm taking a train in the deepest, what some will argue is like roughest, toughest parts of Brooklyn, talking to Brooklyn students, 2015, 2016, 2017, and it's working. And people listen to me. And I was helping getting students in school, and students were getting scholarships and were becoming inspired, and they loved it. And I was giving out scholarship money, and I would go from college campus to college campus, Howard University, Claflin, Fisk, Meharry. I would record college students when I had free time and ask them, did they want to talk to students in New York and tell them why college was important. I would put a little 10-minute documentary together and then hit the schools during my breaks in December and November and spring breaks, and kids were going to school. And
so what made you come up with a scholarship, though? Like,
kids need money for school.
Look, but we know that. But how you, like you said, you come from humble beginnings, bro. Like, how did you even... How does that idea even come about? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to sit here and be like, okay, I'm going to make a podcast, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, all right, I'm going to make a scholarship for niggas that want to do the same shit. You get what I'm saying? And that's maybe a selfish or, limited view or perspective, or even what my journey is. How did you see that calling in your journey? Like, I'm supposed to be here to put these little niggas on to some shit that they should have known about.
I'm huge on giving back. Huge. I'm huge on giving back. And it was in 2013, was it? Yeah, 2013 I actually gave my first scholarship. And I wanted to do it because I knew the students needed money for school. And as time progressed, I had received a scholarship and then 2 scholarships. And 2 turned to 4, then 4 turned to 6, et cetera, et cetera. And the largest scholarship I received was for $25,000. So, and I got to be on BET, and I met a whole bunch of celebrities from that experience too. So, all of these blessings were falling on me constantly. So why not give back to other people as well? Because I had it, and that's not me being cocky like, oh, I came into a bunch of money, but anybody out there could tell you, people get tax refunds and what have you. People could, sell a couple things. What is it for you to take a couple $100? People touch money. Like, if you look at how much money
realistically,
people come into money. Like, For real, people really come into money. So if you put something on the side, even if you and 10 of your brothers or 10 of your sisters or 10 of your people came together and put $10 or $100 together, you got $1,000. That's group economics. You'd be surprised what you could do when you come together and put some bread. And people helped me. I didn't have money to go from.
I was about to say, because you had to be taught this shit, bro.
I didn't drive. I've had a license for less than a year. So me going to every school in Brooklyn was never me driving. Me going to every school in Harlem was never me driving. Me going to every school, thank you, brother. Me going to every school in all across Yonkers was never me driving. It was me in a cab. It was me on a train. So I used to have weight on me back in the day. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm stopping a minute. I used to have weight on me.
No, I would have stopped it.
So
I'm digging it. Because I don't even know this story. You know what I'm saying? We've been rubbing elbows for how long now?
Yeah. Like, I would wake up, and I was a lot heavier once upon a time. I would wake up, and I would literally eat a whole box of toaster strudels.
How the fuck do you do that?
Brother man.
Brother man. This nigga's talented.
I would have 6 toaster strudels, maybe 2 cups of hot chocolate. And it's my New York chocolate, you know.
Yeah, you said chocolate.
I know it's chocolate, but I put the New York on there on purpose, chocolate. And I would, take my shower all that. I'm just saying. And I would be good to go. I would be up super, super early. Maybe 5 something, maybe even earlier. Because depending on where I'm going in New York to that school, I would have to either be in a cab to the Metro North or in a cab to the subway. So I would have to do that. And then I might have to take 2 trains. So picture me taking the 4 train or the Metro North all the way to Grand Central and then hopping on a train going all the way to Brooklyn. Sometimes I would go down as deep almost as to Coney Island to go to school. And be there by 10 a.m., 11 a.m. just to talk to kids.
All right. Because, like,
for free.
I was about to say, because I know you've included me on a couple of things. Like, how the fuck did you find like that to do that, nigga? Like, how? Like, cause obviously the passion is there. I could see it. You exude it. But like, where the fuck did that come from, bro? Like, all right, cool, school. That's my thing. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna knock it out the park. When did that happen?
It's wild because so many young black men play sports.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
for playing sports. So many young black men rap and sing and dance. They're in entertainment. They're in comedy. I'm not. I'm in this other lane. And I shine in that lane. And I'm not just saying like, okay, I'm a teacher and I'm an elementary school teacher, or I'm, a middle school or high school teacher. I'm actually promoting education and I make it look cool. And I've met a lot of people along the way. I mean, celebrities, big name politicians. Like, people support me. I've had support, and I have support.
Shit, I
from
support
huge
you.
names.
I ain't
love,
big, but
love.
you know what I mean.
Love is love. So, you are big. You are. Shout out to the Tokyo-ish podcast.
You had.
So it's wild, but it was a lane. I did it in Yonkers at Roosevelt High School and at Riverside High School, and it worked.
Do you think it was because like you started where you was from that you were able to take it?
Not at all. It was a time when it was good. It was the right time. Students were in school. It was pre-COVID. It was a time when administrators were okay with bringing students outside of their class into an auditorium for assemblies and what have you. Because of that, I know how to write and I speak extremely well. So because of that, I knew how to put an email together. And because I put a bomb email together, that's how I was able to get a foot in the door in one aspect like that. So I would get a foot in the door like that and then be able to talk to students that way.
Are you good?
So it would start off like that. So then once the email went through and then this assistant principal saw it, this guidance counselor saw it, and then it was, okay, so yeah, and then I would send my resume and my bio.
I was about to say, hold up. You're literally, because this just crossed my mind. Like, you dead on the cusp and premise and literally the cutting edge of ushering in that next role of educated, focused on academics, generation, which is dope. Because realistically, I feel like I was straight away from education. Like, to be honest, like,
people don't make it look cool. All the accolades go to the sports stars.
I was about to say, forget making it look cool, because, like, even that wouldn't have been appealing to me at that age, because I'm not that type of child. But I understand, like, there are a whole bunch of those shit. Look at them. They on their iPads watching other kids play with games. You feel what I'm saying? But realistically, like, it's so dope to see, because realistically, even when I was telling you of my experience, my limited experience, and I had to go to Harlem as well to actually be involved in half of the things I was with HBCUs or educational, aspirations, period. So realistically, like, yeah, you say people are doing them in Westchester, bro, but, like, it's different. It's different.
It's different, and you have to know where it is.
I was about to say, it's different. One, it's not you have to know where it is. Like, the fact that you are one man taking yourself and doing the utmost that you can, and then you're creating an abundance. Because like you're doing right now, you're on a podcast, dictating this to many other kids, hopefully. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not many people doing what you're doing.
But check it out, though.
I need you to sit in that. Because, yeah, I get it. People are doing what they're doing. They've been doing what they're doing. But, bro, you are doing something different.
Thank you.
You are doing it in a different way. And like you said, you're making it look cool.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Look, you're going to take these fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yo, what's next, bro? Like, what's next for Dennis? Like, what do you have next on the cards?
Next up, honestly, and I have been fighting it, but I have my bachelor's degree and I have my master's degree, so next up will be my PhD.
Who?
I've been fighting it.
What you trying to do?
I haven't been applying like I should have been, but I have more than enough people who support me and more than enough people in my ear to go to make sure that I get it.
I was about to say, you're not going to roll over this. What you going to do?
Definitely to get that. I'm thinking education, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But
I think you should work with the psyche, D. You know what I mean?
Three biggest...
This nigga D, a psychologist, you be wildin', bro, especially with your passions already.
Three biggest things, though.
It'll be amazing.
Continuously writing, so definitely more articles about various topics.
We didn't even speak. Put your book out there. Pump that.
So we don't gotta
I mentioned it earlier because you ain't even. Man,
definitely more writing for sure. More writing, more articles. Continuing my education. I'm not sure what that will look like yet. And continuing my career. I have two possible career paths that I'm going to look into. One, and I will share them for the first time here publicly.
Oh, dope!
First time publicly here.
You dropped that.
Into the fall, either going into college recruitment. I know, right? Go figure. And
right.
And if not college recruitment, then stopping my substitute teaching career and going into the classroom permanently.
Bro. I think
I'm certified right now. Temporarily certified right now in elementary and middle school.
I think whatever you actually settle on, because what it seems like to me, you're good at what you do.
Thank you.
You're good at educating. You're good at exposing what you're passionate about. Whether you be in a classroom, whether you be in fucking a psychologist's office, and they're on your little chair, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
D, I'm looking forward to it.
Because people think highly of me. You have no idea. I'm not going to, and this is something really important. No, for real, real quick, something really important, especially.
I mean, I can tell you wasn't even trying to let me give you your props, nigga.
I'm not into that.
It's not about it though. It's not about you. It's about what you do and how you affect others.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
And I have, and people tell me I have. In the back of my book, in the last chapter, is nothing but student testimonials of them thanking me and all this, that, and the third. And, students from 2015, 2014, 2016 who remember exactly what I told them. And I don't remember because I was sitting here and you said this, and remember this happened in the classroom and this, and it's wild to me because my words have resonated with so many people.
Right.
Like people who are 25 and 24 know me as New York Stacks and as Dennis. and the youngins know me as Mr. R. And it's wild because people know me from being in their school, whether I talked about college or spoke, to them as a substitute teacher.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's wild.
You want a lane of your own, bro. Like, and it's not on some, oh, nobody else is doing it, or you gotta give props to the niggas that did it first. Like, no. Dennis, you are doing something that's very different. You are doing it.
There's not a lot of black men who teach, period, and not a lot of black men who teach in New
There's
York.
there's not a lot of young black men, bro. Period. At your age, making the moves you're making. Period. So cut it the fuck out, boy. You are amazing. Tell people where they can find you, where your book is, all of it.
Sure.
Talk to the camera, B.
Yes, sir. My social media is New York Stacks, NEWYORKSTAKZ. So that's Instagram and Twitter, New York Stacks.
He used to doing that.
NEWYORKSTAKZ. And you can go on Amazon and find my book, or you can Google it. He spoke at my school.
I'm putting all that shit in the descriptions, you heard.
Thank you. He
I got
spoke
you.
at my school. And I'm excited and I'm humbled to be here because I was a young man who was bullied. I was never the cool kid. I was never the popular kid. I was never the funny kid.
Guess what?
I was always the...
You passed that.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I am.
No, bro. I'm happy that you came.
Thank you.
Because not only do I like to showcase creatives, I like to showcase all type of creatives. And bro, from how you present, how you carry yourself, how you continue to innovate what you're doing. Like you said, you've been doing it since 2013. There's things that you're doing that people have been trying to do for a long time. Keep rumbling.
Thank you.
Shine golden, Pony Boy. That shit is amazing.
Love. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Right?
Thank you for having me. Keep up what you're doing, too.
Always.
You have a podcast.
You have a
You're giving people an
podcast.
opportunity to shine, and that's beautiful.
Nah,
because
I
when
try.
a podcast blows up, and then people look at these and then say, "Oh, nah, yo, bro, that's such and such from like 10 years ago, bro. That's before like he was famous."
That's what I want.
Something.
That's what I want. Cause look, when you big and fucking damn near running the school,
Look,
dean and this shit, like.
When I have my regular 9 to 5 in the future, I'm just gonna be happy and humbled to say that when I was in my 20s, I was able to do something dope.
Cut it out, man. You're dope, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Love.
This is Up and Coming, people. Where we show you the dope is the dope. No matter where you come from, creativity shines. I said that weird, but you heard what I said. Till next time, deuces.